Okay, what's going on, everybody? We are here, we're live. I want to thank you all for joining me today. If you can see and hear me clearly, please drop a 1 in the live chat, and then we can get today's show started. And as I'm waiting for the ones to come into the live chat, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button, because that's the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. What it does, that helps to make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get the notifications, and it also helps to push this video through the YouTube algorithm as well. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you've been ghost watching this channel for quite some time now, always watching my videos but not subscribing, please do me a favor and yourself a favor by hitting the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button, so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. And lastly, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platforms as well, to inform your family and friends of this news and information. And lastly, please make sure you follow me on Telegram as well. I want to start with this, right? Let's come here first. I want to start with this. Something very interesting, but not surprising at all, because we're all aware of this concerning Google and whatnot, right? As far as Google being part of that, DNC machine. But I just found it interesting to pull this up so you guys can see. So oftentimes when I do my titles on my videos, I'll do like a spell check, like through Google. Sometimes I'll just do it through WordPress, or sometimes I'll just, or not WordPress, Microsoft Word, but sometimes I'll just do right click, search, whatever. How you guys know what I'm talking about, and you can do like a very quick Google search, right? And I'll use a Google search to see if I spelled the word right. So what was interesting is this. Since I had deportations in all capital letters, I just wanted to make sure. So I just ran up to Google real quick. And then, of course, you saw on Google produce nothing but a bunch of anti-mass deportation posts pop up, right? That's all you see, of course. Of course, right? Look at this very quickly. I just had to chuckle when I originally saw these. I'll zoom in a little bit, but you type in deportations in Google, and what you get is 4 ways Trump's mass deportation plans could hurt your finances. Why Trump's deportation will drive up your groceries. Mass deportations would disrupt the food chain. California warned of ripple effect, right? You scroll down, like that's literally all you see. Donald Trump has promised a closed border of mass deportations. When you read a little summary, immigrants, their employers, and groups who work with them are already taking action ahead of President-elect Donald Trump's second term. Why deportations actually dropped in Trump's first term? Given his rhetoric demonizing undocumented immigrants and his promise to engage in mass deportations when he retakes the White House, in blah, 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 blah. And it just goes on and on and on. Look at this from the Mercury News. We are very scared. Fear grips migrant families on both sides of the California blah, blah, blah. Mass deportations would disrupt the food chain. And it just goes on and on forever, right? Immigrants' rights, faith and labor groups speak out at LA rally amid threat of mass deportation. It is unbelievable. Like, just obviously we all know this to be true, right? Concerning the media bias against Trump, and how the DNC just completely controls and runs mainstream media. But I found it humorous and annoying at the same time, and just wanted to present that to you because it's just completely ridiculous. Can we get some Epoch Times coming up on a Google search? Can we get some Breitbart or something? I don't know. Yeah, just anything. But I get it. That's all fake news. Those news companies that I asked for, they engage in misinformation, apparently. Disinformation, conspiracy theory nonsense. And apparently the only real news that you can get in America comes from MSNBC that you can trust, right? So anyways, with all that out the way, let's really get into the show, right? Let's really get into the show. As many of you know, this video has been circulating quite a bit. I want to play only like the first 2 minutes of it, because most of you probably have seen this already. But this is just a video here of Donald Trump speaking on how he's going to essentially put an end to the Mexican cartels operating here in America, right? And that's something that is also very much so deeply tied to the migrant crisis as well, concerning the amount of money that Mexican cartels have been making off the migrant crisis. So we're going to get into the finances and everything concerning that in just a moment. But like I said, let's start it off here. I want to play the first 2 minutes of this, and then we're going to carry on with the discussion, because Trump did cite a new border czar who's actually going to do their job. And he has quite a bit to say and is a very interesting character in and of himself. But first, once again, let's get into this clip right here.
Our country is being poisoned from within by the drugs and by all of the other crime that's taking place. The drug cartels are waging war in America, and it's now time for America to wage war on the cartels. In this war, Joe Biden has sided against the United States and with the cartels. They are making more money than they've ever made before, times 10. There's never been anything like it. They're major, major companies. They're bigger than even some of our biggest companies. Biden's open border policies are a deadly betrayal of our nation. When I am president, it will be the policy of the United States to take down the cartels, just as we took down ISIS and the ISIS caliphate, and just as, unlike the situation we're in today, we had a very, very strong border, the strongest border, in fact, in the history of our country, and drugs were at a low of 45 years. There's been nothing like what we did just 2 years ago. We will show no mercy on the cartels. Every day, drug traffickers are using the waters of our region to ship their lethal poisons to America, killing so many of our people and ruining families. In addition to restoring strong border security, I will deploy all necessary military assets, including the U.S. Navy, to impose the full naval embargo on the cartels. I did that before, and it worked. What we did was incredible. We will guarantee that the waters of the Western Hemisphere are not used to traffic illicit drugs to our country. Furthermore, I will order the Department of Defense to make appropriate use of special forces, cyber warfare, and other overt and covert actions to inflict maximum damage on cartel leadership, infrastructure, and operations.
Now, once again, there's a lot more to this, but many of you have seen that already. It's roughly around a 4-minute clip of an even longer clip, but I don't want to drag this portion out too much. But what I do want to do is that I want to backtrack a little bit to what Trump was saying concerning the amount of money these cartels have made under the Harris-Biden administration, right? Let's get into this, because the kind of money that they've been making over the last 4 years in total now, I don't even think there's any Fortune 500 company that's making this kind of money. I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Cartels making $13 billion a year smuggling migrants across border. Reports say $13 billion a year is insane. That is completely insane. That is an absurd amount of money. Once again, I don't believe there is a Fortune 500 company making $13 billion a year. But this is what they're making under the Harris-Biden administration over this man-made migrant crisis. Cartels and coyotes are reportedly earning $13 billion a year by smuggling migrants across the United States-Mexico border, an amount that has soared from the 2018 number of $500 million. They've gone from making $500 million a year to $13 billion a year. That is beyond astronomical. The information comes from a report by the New York Times national immigration correspondent, Miriam Jordan, who suggests that $13 billion in revenue doesn't even include drug money. That's not even including the drug money. 13 billion alone, just off smuggling illegal immigrants into the country. And when you come down to this portion here, I'm gonna scroll down a little bit more. I just want to give you like the last sentence of what's marked in blue. The Times added that smuggling fees can range from $2,000 to $40,000 a head. From $2,000 to $40,000 a person. That is crazy money. Money that they've never seen before, just dealing with drugs alone. And it's actually more profitable and far less risk with them smuggling illegal immigrants across the border versus dealing drugs. We're going to get into that in a minute, or I should say right now, because when you take into account the kind of money that they're making so much money, so much that they were even offering VIP packages. Look at this here. This is crazy. Mexican cartels offering pricey VIP package for migrants trying to get into the US. You know you're making an absurd amount of money when you expand the operation to different tiers. We have a VIP package for you. If you want to come here legally, you can go the regular route or you can pay more as a VIP client with the Mexican cartel. That is wild. That is wild. The tunnel is dark and narrow. Toxic gases rise from the dank water. Insects scurry along the sides. Rattlesnakes wait coiled. Rodents lurk along the water's edge. Yes, this drainage network that reaches from Ciudad, I believe it's called, Juarez, into El Paso, Texas, is one of the most sought after routes for patrons of a VIP migrant package offered by Mexican cartels to those with the money to pay for it. The tunnel route costs at least $6,000, according to interviews with top Mexican state authorities, federal law enforcement officials from both sides of the border, and migrants waiting to cross, and encampments along the Rio Grande. Ricardo, a migrant smuggler, said he has charged as much as $15,000. $15,000. And this is that VIP route right here. This is the VIP tunnel that Biden's migrants, illegal immigrants, are being smuggled through. This is the VIP entrance into the United States, apparently, from Juarez to El Paso, Texas, right? But here also what I want to show you is kind of a more updated amount of money that they're making. Take a listen to this here. Let me zoom in so you can see this better. A kilo of Coca-Cola, right? A kilo of Coca-Cola might bring in $1,500, but the risk is very high. The cost benefit of trafficking a person is $10,000, $12,000, or $15,000. 10, 12, and 15. Now, mind you, it can go up as high as $40,000, right? And that $40,000 range, because we've covered this on this channel before, that's why you should be subscribed and follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. The link is in the description box below and pinned in the comment section as well if you're watching a replay. Telegram. We've covered this before, but that $30,000 to $40,000, even $50,000 range that the cartel is charging smugglers, the cartel is charging illegal immigrants to cross the border, that price range typically goes for those coming from Asia, and specifically those coming from China and India. And one of the questions that I always raise is that if you have folks coming over here from China and India paying that $40,000 number to get here into the country, you have to ask yourself, who are those people that come in and fly completely under the radar? They were able to afford a $40,000 price range to be smuggled into the country illegally. 40,000. And you're not going to find them at any of the migrant shelters in New York, Chicago, DC, or in Denver or Los Angeles. You're not going to find them over there. So then the question is, who are they and where did they go having that kind of money on them to afford to be able to be smuggled into the United States? It's just something to think about, right? It's just something to think about. But, you know, have no fear, right? Because a new border czar is here. Donald Trump's border czar, 3 immigration priorities for Tom Homan or Homan. I might be saying his last name wrong, but we'll get it right in just a moment. Because I have a few videos that I want to play from Mr. Homan or Homan in just a moment. But let's just get into this very quickly before we jump into those clips, because I want to play a few clips of you where Trump's new border czar was completely ripping to shreds members of the squad in congressional hearings back when he was working with Trump during his first term. So we're going to get into that in a minute. But let's jump into this here. President-elect Donald Trump has appointed former Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director Tom Homan to oversee the protection of all U.S. borders, a role which presents 3 main priorities. Homan, or Homan, whichever way you say his last name, is expected to be laser focused on the southern frontier and its related issues: border security, number 1, mass deportations, number 2, and crackdown on cartels, number 3. This guy's going to get it done, and seemingly is about business. And it looks like a lot of people are scared of this guy. A lot of people are scared of him. His role on the front line of immigration policy and so could be key to the success or failure of Trump's administration, right? I'm going to read that again. His role on the front line of immigration policy and so could be key to the success or failure of Trump's administration. Promises on immigration were at the frontier of Trump's successful bid for the White House over Vice President and failed border czar Kamala Harris, and helped to propel him to a stunning comeback victory. It wasn't a comeback victory. He was winning the entire time. It was a stunning landslide victory. I just want to make an amendment. It was a stunning landslide victory. It was a bloodbath. Okay, it was a bloodbath. It wasn't a comeback victory because the polling numbers were lying. He was ahead the entire time, and everybody knew it. It's just that the mainstream media lied about it. Trump, who won the popular vote for the first time in 3 attempts, swept all 7 key battleground states in his decisive November 5th presidential election victory, bringing his total electoral college count to 312. Now, this is a very good article that I think you should read for yourself when you get a moment to. It's from Newsweek. Maybe I'll remember to put it in the description box so once this stream is over, because I do recommend that you read this for yourself. But what I want to do right now concerning the new border czar is that I want to get into a few clips, right? So that people can see who he is, and that he actually does very much so mean business, right? He very much so means business. I want to play this clip here. It's of him completely dissecting and ripping to shreds Democrats, right? Ripping them to shreds in House meetings where they're questioning him, on his, no tolerance, zero tolerance policies. They're playing that game of family separation. And I really can't wait till we get to that point when he discusses family separation, because he says something in there that I've been wanting to make it a point to highlight on this channel for quite some time now. So let's jump into this clip here. Please hit the like button if you haven't already, and let's let him speak.
First of all, your comments are disgusting. I've served my country.
I've served my country for 34 years.
I find your comments disgusting as well.
I've served my country for 34 years. And yes, I held a 5-year-old boy in my arms in back of that tractor trailer. I knelt down beside him and said a prayer for him because I knew what his last 30 minutes of his life were like. And I had a 5-year-old son at the time. What I've been trying to do my 34 years serving my nation is to save lives. So for you to sit there and insult my integrity and my love for my country and for children, that's why this whole thing needs to be fixed. And you're the member of Congress.
We agree on that.
Fix it.
We agree on
You
that,
have
but I
failed it. You have-
disagree. But I also
Hold on.
disagree with your characterization of immigrants as prone to criminality.
people for 3 decades on this.
Gentlemen, time is.
Look, you want to know why there's 50,000 people in detention? You want to know why we have 1 million illegal entries in the United States? You want to know why we have these issues? Because you have failed to secure the border. You have failed to work with this president to close the 3 loopholes we've asked for 2 years to close. So if you want to know why this issue exists, you need to look in the mirror. You have failed American people for not securing the border and closing loopholes.
Mr. Homan,
Look,
please respect the chair and the authority of the chair. The time of the gentleman has expired.
I've asked you politely to let me go beyond my time, and you let other people go beyond their time, but not to Tom Homan. He don't get me go beyond his time.
Mr. Homan, we have approved an agreement between the Republicans and the Democrats with the ranking member. We increased the time of one member of Congress who was interrupted by a protest. That is done with the approval of the ranking member. Please respect the chair's authority. The
I respect the chair's authority, but the chair...
Mr. Homan!
You work for me. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me.
She didn't like that line, did she? She didn't like that line. He said, you work for me. I'm a taxpayer. She shut up real quick. She stopped smacking that gavel real quick. You saw that? She had to think about it for a minute. Let me rewind that back. And yeah, Peg, you really love his passion. I do as well.
Approval of the ranking member. Please respect the chair's authority.
I respect the chair's authority, but the chair...
Mr. Homan!
You work for me. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me.
So the recommendation of the many that you recommend.
I want AOC to get Jamal Bowman so bad. God, I cannot stand this woman. But let's let her. Tom Homan is about to rip her to shreds. I should say rip her to silence. He's going to shut her up so bad right now.
So the recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommend a zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Thank you. He's going to elaborate on that more. You support family separation. The same as any other American citizen if they get arrested when they're a child. I've been arguing that point so much. I haven't spoken on that much here on the show, but just, in real life, right? In real life, off the internet, all that family separation talk is a talking point that I cannot stand. I despise it because if I get arrested right now and hauled off to jail right now, guess what? Nobody cares about my 11-year-old son and what's going to become of him with his father out of the picture. Literally, nobody's going to care. No one's going to care. So if you're not going to care about what happens to me and my son, if I got arrested and hauled off to jail, in which that would be family separation, right? Family separation. You took TD away from his 11-year-old son. What's his 11-year-old son going to do? Once again, you don't care. Nobody cares. So stop talking all that foolishness to me about family separation when it comes to illegal immigrants. I don't want to hear any of that talk. And I'm not going to play the clip here because it's a 60-minute clip. And for some reason, 60 minutes doesn't allow you to play their clips on YouTube. Well, they do, but they demonetize the video, right? I don't know why they do that. It's weird because CBS as a whole will allow you to do it. But my point is this. When he was asked about that in a 60 Minutes clip, right? In a 60 Minutes interview, what about family separation, family separations? Tom Homan's response was, the families can get deported together. We can just deport the families together. That was his response. How do you feel about family separation? The whole family can go. They can all be deported. And that's facts. If that's a concern of yours, well, then okay. Everybody can go all together. But I just wanted to highlight that point because Herbert Moore said he saw that. It's hilarious. I really wish I can play that clip here. I really do, but I can't. They give you a hard time for some reason. But yeah, I've been wanting to just speak that publicly for so long now. I hate that family separation talking point. I can't stand it. You know, I can't stand it. But I'll take it from the top with him versus AOC and watch him just completely shut her down. One more time.
Respect the chair's authority, but the chair,
Mr. Homan,
you work for
excuse
me. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me.
So the recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation,
I recommend a zero tolerance.
which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father
Mr.
from his
Homan,
family.
with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
Shut her down completely. She changed the subject after that. She said, oh, okay. After that, just silence. Nothing else left to say. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? Knock it off with the nonsense about family separation. That is such a weak talking point. Such a weak talking point, because once again, if any of you, and I'm not going to harp on this anymore, we're going to move on from this, right? But just let this sit on your mind. And I bring up these examples all the time. In places like New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Denver, DC, Massachusetts, these sanctuary cities, if the feds are looking for you, local law enforcement can work with the feds to arrest an American citizen. But if ICE is looking for an illegal immigrant, who are the feds also, ICE are the feds, local authorities cannot work with the feds to arrest illegal immigrants. Local authorities can work with the feds to arrest you, a U.S. citizen, but not illegal immigrants, number one. Number two, if you get arrested with your child and end up going to jail, no one's going to cry about family separation. Whatever happens to you and whatever happens with your child and the future of your child with you out of your child's life, literally nobody will care. But when it comes to illegal immigrants, once again, now all of a sudden, family separation, family separation, family separation. We can't deport anybody. We can't arrest anybody. We can't do anything to them because of family separation. If you're a U.S. citizen, it's okay to break up our families. If you're an illegal immigrant, no, we have to keep those families together. You know, doesn't matter what they did. We can't partake in family separation. But when it comes to mass deportation, in closing, you know, I've gone through, you know, my, you could say list of, not list, but my live streams concerning the governors that have essentially come out and formed a union, right, against Donald Trump, a resistance, as one of the Chicago local news outlets called it, right, a resistance formed against Donald Trump, consisting of an unofficial resistance, that is, but a resistance nonetheless, consisting of Governor J.B. Pritzker out of Illinois, Gavin Newsom from California, where I am, Mura Healy, I believe that's her name, from Massachusetts, and Kathy Hochul from New York, right? They have all come out preemptively before Trump has even gotten into office to form a resistance front against him. They're not going to cooperate with him at all whatsoever in any meaningful fashion when it comes to him implementing whatever changes that he wants to make, and especially when it comes to mass deportation of illegal immigrants. Well, in closing, this is what Tom Homan had to say, right? This is what he had to say about that.
Some of these Democratic governors say they're going to stand in the way. They're going to make it hard for us. Well, a suggestion: if you're not going to help us, get the hell out of the way, but we're going to do it. So if we can't get assistance from New York City, and we may have to double the number of agents we send to New York City, because we're going to do the job. We're going to do the job without you or with you.
Get the heck out of the way, because we're going to job either with you or without you. I have a feeling that come Trump entering into office, ICE will be hiring. ICE is definitely going to be hiring. It's definitely going to be hiring. If you're living in a sanctuary city, ICE is 100% hiring, and they're going to need all the assistance they can get, because Tom Homan is coming for you regardless. 1, 2, Tom is coming for you.
Some of these Democratic governors say they're going to stand in the way. They're going to make it hard for us. Well, a suggestion: if you're not going to help us, get the hell out of the way, but we're going to do it. So if we can't get assistance from New York City, and we may have to double the number of agents we send to New York City, because we're going to do the job. We're going to do the job without you or with you.
1, 2, Tom is coming for you. And with all that being said, that does it for today's show, man. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Please hit the like button on your way out. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And also, as I beg at the end of every live stream, Telegram. If you're on Telegram, follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. The link to my Telegram is in the description box below. It'll be pinned in the comment section as well if you're watching the replay. Now, let's get into some of these super chats so I can answer some questions and read some comments and or statements. I had to start the stream off with my man Saul, right? Who came through and finally revealed what I've been wondering for so long. Is Saul, is he like Dominican? Is he Puerto Rican? Like who is Saul? Who is this man? Who is my man Saul that's been feeding my family this whole time? And he finally came out of the ethnicity closet and said, I am Mexican American. Shout out to my man Saul, who's been holding it down on this channel for a long time. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much. And I'll read his comment off one more time as we take it from the top. He said, I'm Mexican American. My parents were immigrants. I do have a soft spot for others like them. But if you come here with a grimy degenerate, if you come here to be a grimy degenerate, you ain't Raza. You ain't my people, and you gotta go. And once again, if Saul says you have to go, you gotta go, man. You gotta go. Once again, it's not me saying you gotta go. Saul said you gotta go. Saul and Tom Homan. And once Saul and Tom Homan speak, that's pretty much the end of it. I appreciate you, bro. My man Blacklight Revelations Rob said, I'm already eating good with the new presidency. Me too. Cryptocurrency got them pockets looking right. Yeah, man. If you all are invested in crypto like I am and like Rob is, yeah, crypto wallets are looking real nice right now. Our crypto wallets are looking real nice right now. I hope you guys didn't fall into the misinformation that crypto is a scam, because if you did, sorry for you. Shout out to my man El Fenici. El Fenici said, now Trump got a real border czar. Absolutely. Got a real border czar now. Not a fake border czar like Kamala Harris. Not a fake one like Kamala Harris. And shout out to you, El Fenici. Benton Jr. Bay said, and you think the DNC's politicians involved with those smuggling profits want to let go of that? Heck no. They're corrupt as F, including Biden and Harris. There's probably a couple DNC politicians that's getting a little kickback. Probably getting a little something. I wouldn't be surprised. I would imagine. I mean, I honestly can see that. Cartel lobbyists. Cartel lobbyists. I'm sure that they're not approaching them as cartel lobbyists, but I'm pretty sure you have those in the cartel that are funding people to lobby on their behalf. To lobby our politicians. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we have cartel lobbyists. That wouldn't shock me at all. Shout out to my man, Papa Naya Shelley, who said, get them all out of here. No political talk needed. Look, Papa Naya Shelley said he didn't even need a whole live stream. He said, I didn't need this whole live stream. You just let me know that Tom Homan is on the job and get them all up out of here. El Fenici said, AOC acting like illegal immigrants have diplomatic status. Yeah, if you let a Democrat tell it, yeah, they all have diplomatic immunity. None of them can be touched. And that's pretty much how things go in these sanctuary cities. I mean, as we've discussed and went through, you can't arrest any of them because it's family separation, but you can be arrested and separated from your family, right? But you can't touch them. They are the untouchables up until now. Up until this point right now. Shout out to my man Jay Bird for 31 months of service. I appreciate you, Jay Bird. He said, riding with you, bro, until the wheels fall off. I appreciate you, Jay Bird, for riding with me until the wheels fall off with 31 months of service as a channel member. Thank you very much, bro. Much appreciated. You've been riding with me for the longest now. Thank you. 31 months is a long time. I appreciate it, man. The Geek Surgeon said Mayor Adams gonna give him assistance. That's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out, because I do believe, as I discussed, in my video prior, I do believe that we are witnessing the alliance form between Eric Adams and Donald Trump. But how that works when you have a governor and Kathy Hochul, governor of the state, who essentially can override anything that Mayor Adams wants to do, she's gonna make things very hard. She's gonna make things very difficult because she is part of that resistance front, right? She's part of that resistance front against Trump that has come out against him, with Newsom, Pritzker, and Healy, right, out of Massachusetts. So it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. I think that Adams is going to most likely do his best to assist Trump with whatever it is that he wants to do concerning the illegal immigrants in the city. But once again, Kathy Hochul, I mean, as the state governor, I would assume she ultimately has the final say on any and everything. So she's going to make that relationship and that alliance very, very difficult. And once again, it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. And I will definitely be here to cover it. Shout out to Papa Naya Shelley, who came through. He said, Tom got zero time to tarry. No, Tom has no time to play. He's not playing with anybody. Tom is not playing with anyone. Tom Homan is all about business. That zero tolerance back in play, mass deportation in play, war on the cartels in play. And with all that being said, that does it for today's show. I want to thank you all for joining me. Please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video out on your social media platforms. And also, as usual, and as I love to beg at the end of every stream, please follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. Please do that. Telegram. And shout out to Crew Reality Grand Niggas for 6 months of service. I appreciate you, crew, for showing love for 6 months. Said greetings, TD. Thanks. Thank a union member. I got something for you. Oh Lord, thank God that this is finally over. Thank God that we are never going to. I'm going to retire this once she's out of office officially. Okay, I'm gonna have to retire this soundbite once she's out of office officially.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
Once Trump is inaugurated, that soundbite is going to be completely retired. I don't ever want to hear this woman's voice again. I don't ever, not even as a joke, not even as a joke. I don't want to hear her voice ever again in life. Thank you all, man. I will catch you guys later. Peace and have a great evening.